It's day 19. The power's been out for 2 weeks. The grocery store 2 blocks down got picked clean on day 4, burned on day 7, and now it's just a black skeleton that smells like wet ash and rats. You hear them before you see them. 3 men, maybe 4, walking slow down the middle of your street. Because there are no cars anymore, no rules anymore. They're stopping at every house. Looking, listening, sniffing the air for food, for smoke, for life, and then they stop. Right in front of your driveway. One of them points at your front window. The curtain glow. The faint hum of a generator you swore nobody could hear. The bike you forgot to bring in from the side yard. They know somebody's home. They know somebody's eating. And they know it's you. Here's the thing most prepper channels won't say out loud. A steel door won't save you. A safe room won't save you. That $2,000 security system you installed last spring? Useless. Because once the grid goes down and the badges stop showing up, the rules of home defense flip completely upside down. The strongest house on the block is not the fortress. The strongest house on the block is the one nobody looks at twice. Stay with me, because I'm about to walk you through something called the gray man strategy. For your home, and the final layer, the one I call the ghost signature, is the thing that actually decides whether they knock on your door. Or the neighbors. Most people never even think about it. You will. Let's talk about the enemy first. The post-collapse looter is not a ninja. He's not some tactical operator with night vision. He's hungry, he's scared, and he's running a calculation in his head that is older than money. Effort versus reward, risk versus food. He's a raccoon with shoes. And raccoons go for the trash can with the loose lid. Every single time. Your job is not to beat him in a fight. Your job is to be the trash can with a lid bolted shut that also looks empty, that also smells bad, that also looks like somebody already got here first. Make sense? Good. Because that's the whole philosophy in one sentence. The FBI's own numbers back this up. Even in normal times, around 60% of burglars say they'll skip a house if there's any sign of a challenge. In a grid-down scenario, when they're tired, cold, and burning calories they can't replace, that number climbs. Hard. They're not looking for a fight. They're looking for an easy can of beans. So, layer 1. I call this the dead house disguise. Before anything else, your house has to look like it's already been hit, or like nobody ever lived there in the first place. That means the front yard gets a little messy. Not filthy, not obvious. Just wrong. A tipped-over trash can. A front door left cracked open an inch with a splintered frame you faked with a chisel and 10 minutes of patience. A broken window on the garage, boarded up lazy with mismatched plywood. Curtains ripped. A shoe in the driveway. One single shoe. Looters walk past houses that look recently looted because the math tells them somebody beat them to it. You're not decorating. You're telling a story, and the story is, nothing here, move on. It's the same reason grocery stores in bad neighborhoods put empty shelves in the front window. Signal poverty. Signal prior theft. Become uninteresting. Now, layer 2. Light discipline. And this is where 90% of preppers get sloppy and die. You think you're being careful because you moved your candles to the back room. You're not. On a completely dark street, with no streetlights, no porch lights, no TVs glowing through curtains, a single candle visible through a 1-inch gap in the drapes is a lighthouse. I've seen it tested. I've done it myself in blackout drills in the hills, and from 300 yards out, a flickering orange pinprick will catch your eye before any other thing in the landscape. The human eye is built to find fire in the dark. That's ancient wiring. You cannot turn it off. So you cover every window, blackout curtains, then a second layer of blankets, then cardboard taped over the glass from the inside. Light a candle only in an interior room with no windows, a bathroom, a closet, a hallway. If you can see the glow from outside, so can they, and sound follows the same rules. That generator humming on your back porch can be heard from 2 blocks away on a quiet night. And in a dead city, every night is a quiet night. Bury it, box it, baffle it with mattresses, run it only in short bursts, or don't run it at all. Layer 3, the scent screen. Here's the one nobody talks about. You can black out every window, silence every machine, and still get found because you cooked bacon. Smell travels farther than light in the right conditions. A hot meal, cooking on day 20 of a collapse, is a dinner bell ringing across 6 houses. Cook mild. Cold soak your food when you can, which is just letting dry food sit in water for a couple hours until it's edible. Boring? Yes. Alive? Also yes. And if you have to cook hot, do it at 3 in the morning when most human traffic is asleep, and vent the steam into a basin of water to break up the scent plume. I know it sounds paranoid. That's because it is. Paranoia is just pattern recognition with better PR. Hey, real quick, if you're still with me, do me one favor. Hit that subscribe button, not because I need it. Because the algorithm buries this kind of information under cat videos and 10-minute life hacks. And somebody in your own family might need this and not know where to find it. Think of it as leaving a breadcrumb for the people you love. All right, moving on. Layer 4, the lived-in lie. This is the counter to Layer 1, and it sounds like a contradiction until you hear it. Sometimes, depending on the stage of collapse, you don't want to look looted. You want to look occupied by somebody crazy, sick, or connected. A handwritten sign on the door that says quarantine, do not enter, 2 dead inside. A different colored rag tied to the mailbox, like you're signaling something to somebody. Who exactly, looters won't want to find out. A boot print in the mud, much bigger than yours. A cigarette butt on the porch if you don't smoke. These are ghosts. They imply a person you don't want to meet. Looters read these signs the way a deer reads footprints, and they route around. Quick question for you while I've got your attention. What's your neighborhood like? Are you on a cul-de-sac, a main road, rural back acres? Drop it in the comments, because the tactics shift a lot depending on your street layout. And I want to hear from people who've actually walked their block thinking about this stuff. Your experience might save somebody else scrolling this video right now. Layer 5. Harden the access points, but do it invisibly. Your front door in a normal house is held in the frame by 4 screws that are about 3/4 of an inch long. A grown man can kick through that in 2 tries. Swap those screws for 3-inch structural screws. Costs you $8 at a hardware store, takes 15 minutes, triples the force needed to breach. Add a floor-mounted door barricade, the kind that drops into a slot in the floor. From the outside, the door looks exactly the same. From the inside, it's bolted to the building itself. Same with windows. A simple wooden dowel cut to the length of the track, dropped into the sliding window channel, turns a 5-second entry into a 15-minute problem. 15 minutes is forever when the world's on fire. 15 minutes is the looter giving up and walking to the easier house. Which is exactly what we want, and here's the callback I promised you. The ghost signature. This is the last layer, and it's the one nobody teaches because it sounds like witchcraft until you understand it. Every house on your street is sending out a signal, whether you like it or not. Foot traffic in the snow. Trash that was never taken out. Toys left in the yard that haven't moved in weeks. A specific pattern of light, smell, sound, and movement that either says alive and worth robbing or nothing here. Your job is to audit your own signature. Walk out to the curb once a week. Look at your house the way a stranger would. Ask one question. If I were starving, would I try this door? If the answer is maybe, you've got work to do. Rake the leaves back over the footprints, leading to the back garden. Move the car into the garage and leave a rusted-out junker in the driveway instead, if you have one. Tip over a planter. Break a pane of glass on the shed. You are not decorating a home. You are editing a signal. Why does any of this work? Because humans are lazy predators. That sounds harsh, but it's the truth. And the truth is what keeps you breathing. Criminals, even desperate ones, are running a cost-benefit equation every second they're on your street. And that equation is not about who has the most gold bars. It's about who looks soft. A wolf doesn't pick the biggest deer, it picks the slowest. Your job isn't to be invisible in a literal sense. Your job is to be the slowest deer's ugly cousin, standing next to 3 faster, fatter ones. Make the calculation lose, make the math unfavorable, and the threat walks away and never even knew you were there. Back to day 19. Those 4 men in the street. They stand in front of your driveway for about 30 seconds. One of them points at your window, and for a second your stomach drops. But then the guy in the back says something you can't hear. Maybe it's the tipped trash can. Maybe it's the boarded garage window. Maybe it's the quarantine sign. Maybe it's nothing you can name, just a gut feeling that this house is more trouble than it's worth. They turn. They keep walking. You hear their boots fade down the block. You don't win by being the strongest. You win by not being worth the walk up the driveway. That's the whole game. If this helped you see your home a little differently, do me one last thing. Subscribe. Because the next video covers the 3 hiding spots inside your house that every looter checks first, and how to build one they'll never find. You might not need it this year. You might not need it next year. But the day you do need it, you'll really, really need it. I'll see you there.